Hi everyone! Welcome to the Crafty Pixie channel where we do sewing projects, craft projects, and subscription boxes. I am Bee. Whether you are new or old to this channel, thank you so much for stopping by. It is great to have you. In today's video, we have a twofer. We have two projects in one. They're pretty much the same thing, only one's bigger than the other. But they serve two very different purposes, okay? So you've got your Key Fob key ring with the nice little hardware here. These projects are so beginner friendly, it's crazy. You literally have one piece of fabric, interfacing if you want, and then you've got the hardware. I mean, it's super easy. If you've never used hardware before, this is a great starting tool right here. But, you know, you literally hang your keys off of it. I'm sure you've seen a million of these everywhere. You slide it on your wrist and you're good to go there. And then the second one is a lanyard. And all I used for this one, nothing fancy, is a swivel hook. Nice and easy, very beginner friendly. A friend of mine, I made this for her first. And she carries her badge and her work keys with her, and it holds really, really well. She has absolutely no issues with it whatsoever. If you don't want it too stiff, you don't have to put any interfacing in it at all, which is really nice. So you can have it more flexible, but as you move around with it, it gets better. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below and the notification bell so you know when I upload every Wednesday at 9:15 a.m. Leave a comment in the comment section down below as well and give the video a thumbs up. Without any further ado, let's get to materials and get started. For this project, I'm actually going to do both items at the same time with you. For the Key Fob keyring, you're going to need one piece of cotton fabric cut 4 inches by 10 inches. I also interfaced this with Decoville. You can interface it with SF101 if you want. And then for the lanyard, you're going to need to cut 1 strip of cotton fabric 35 inches long by 4 inches wide. You can interface this if you want. You don't have to. I'm using Decoville. You can use SF101, or if you like a looser lanyard, you don't even have to interface it at all. And then, of course, you're going to need your clips or pins, scissors. You're going to need your normal presser foot and your zipper foot. For the lanyard, you're going to need a simple swivel hook, 1 inch long. For the Key Fob keyring, you're going to need your Key Fob hardware, and you're going to need a set of pliers or the Key Fob clamp. I found a set of pliers that have like rubber here, so it doesn't damage the metal at all. And then you're going to need an iron, an ironing mat, coordinating thread, and your sewing machine, and these will be done in absolutely no time, okay? So let's get started. First thing we're going to do is we are going to fold our lanyard and our Key Fob ring so that it gets ready to be top stitched at the sewing machine. So basically, like we do for D-rings or crossbody straps, anything, or wristlet straps, we're going to take the fabric, we're going to fold it in half lengthwise so the two long edges meet together, wrong sides together. So you should be looking at the right side of your fabric. Make sure it's even. Then you're going to take your iron and you're going to press it just like so. Make sure you've got a good line there. If you're using Decoville, it's going to get nice and soft so you can move it around. but when it's done, it's going to be nice and stiff, which is great for the key fob ring. And then we're going to take one side, fold it up to the center mark that we just made, press it down, try to get it as even as possible. And of course, as always, the iron's hot, so be careful. My hands are very sensitive to heat, mainly because they're always cold. So I have to constantly remind myself that the fabric is going to be hot after you're done ironing it, and the area is going to be hot from ironing. So, all right, and then we just take it, turn it over, do the same thing to the other side. And what I like to do is fold them both so that we're nice and even here. And then you can press it together so you get the nice, good, crisp idea, telling the fabric where it needs to go. Okay, just like that. And then we're just folding it so that the folded sides are aligned back on that center line. Make sure you're even. You don't want anything overlapping. This is great to do if you want to do like waterproof canvas on one side, like the side that's going to be touching your wrist all the time. Or you can use faux leather or vinyl. You can probably even do this with duck canvas. I just have the cotton on hand, so that's what I'm going to do. And then I like to take a few clips and just clip it so that it doesn't move around on me while I'm working on the lanyard. You can knock out a lot of these all at once. You can make like assembly line. You can do each step on every single one of them and then finish it and then do the next step. This is great for gifts or craft fairs or anything like that. All right, so that is done. So we're going to stick this one to the side. And then we're going to do the exact same thing to our long piece of fabric for the lanyard. All right, so just repeating. Now this is going to be more annoying because it is a longer piece, but if you're using like Decoville, it's going to work in your favor because it's going to want to fold. It's going to want to do what the rest of the fabric is doing, so you're not going to have to manhandle it too much. You want to try your best to line up the edges. Make sure the Decoville or the SF101 is fused really, really well to the fabric. Fold each piece to the center, like so. The lanyard, this part of the lanyard is the most time-consuming part. just like the other one, fold it in half so that the folded edges are aligned. You want this to be as close as possible because this is going to be seen. So fold it, press it. Just like that. Just like that, and then of course, like I do with the other one, just take it and put some pin or clips or pins to hold it so it doesn't shift very much. And then you're going to take this over to the sewing machine and you're going to top stitch along both long edges of the lanyard and both long edges of the key fob ring. So top stitch is usually 3mm stitch length. And we're going to go an eighth of an inch from each long side. So you're going to top stitch this side and then you're going to top stitch the other side. My suggestion is to top stitch the side where the two folds come together first so that there isn't a lot of shifting. And then you're going to do the same thing. So you're going to do an eighth of an inch along the long side, top stitch, and then along the other side and top stitch. All right, so I'm going to go to the sewing machine. I'm going to do that and I'll be right back. Now that that is done, we pretty much assemble them now. I mean, it's not hard at all. So I'm going to do the lanyard, or not the lanyard, the key fob key ring first. So pick a side that you like the best. I like this one, so that's going to be the outside. So I'm going to fold it so that the side you like is on the outside. You're going to match up the raw edges and align them. And then you're going to take your key fob hardware. So on the inside, it's got the two prongs. I don't know how well you can see those, the two prongs. And then you've got the solid side. So you're going to take it and you're going to slide that in. Just like so. You want to align everything. There might be a little bit of forcing there. It's okay. Just make sure it stays aligned. Just like that. Then we're going to take the pliers, or if you've got the tool, you can use that. We're going to pinch down a little bit on one side. Make sure everything is still aligned. Pinch down a little bit on the other. Make sure we're still good, because you can still come back from this if you need to make any adjustments. But no, it looks good. So we're just going to take it and we're going to finish pushing it down like so. Give it a nice good squeeze on both sides. If you get the key fob tool, it'll fit the whole thing. I just couldn't find one. This was the closest thing that I could find, and it works great. I have no issues with it whatsoever. All right, and then we're just gonna push it down. Make sure, give it a tug, and it's nice and sealed in there. Okay, that is not coming off. All right, just like that. And your key fob ring is done. It slides right over the wrist just like that. You hang your keys off of the end and you're done. There you go. So that's done. Put it to the side. If you want, you can also put the key ring on it as well. I suggest putting the key ring on after you've attached it to the fabric. It makes it a whole lot easier when there isn't extra on there when you're putting the tool to it. All right, so there is that. You are done. Now with the lanyard, we're going to take whatever side you like best for the outside. Doesn't really matter with this particular fabric. We're just going to slide it on like so. We're going to take it, align the edges, the raw edges, clip it in place. We're going to take this over to the sewing machine, and with a 1/4 inch seam allowance, we're going to stitch right across here, back stitch, and then stitch again. You can do that like 2 times, back stitch really, really well, go all the way across, okay? And then I'll show you what to do afterwards. I'll be back. Once you are done with that stitch right here at the end, we're going to take it and we're going to fold it just like so. If you put the swivel hook on wrong, that's perfectly fine. You can literally just adjust it right now so that it's on the outside. It's not going to hurt anything there. Okay, we're going to bring it right over to our stitch here. Nestle it right in, just like so. And then you're going to put your zipper foot on, and you are going to stitch as close to the hardware as you can get. You're going to stitch all the way across, back stitch, stitch again, back stitch, and stitch again. If you want, if you do have any like punches or anything, you can put one here and you'll be good to go there. You can make a little box and then put the X through the middle, whichever one you prefer. I made this for my friend. She carries her work keys and her work badge right off the edge of this, and it's given her absolutely no problems whatsoever. So I'm going to go to the sewing machine, do that, and I'll be right back. And voila, you are done. 2 super quick and easy projects that you can make for anybody. Anybody. You can make them as Mother's Day gifts, welcome gifts, first-time home buyer gifts, you know, going to school, moving in, whatever. I mean, these are absolutely fantastic, super inexpensive. This is literally scraps or a fat quarter. Like, it is not a lot of fabric at all. This is just a long piece of fabric. There isn't actually much like width to it at all. But so don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. Leave a comment in the comment section and give the video a thumbs up. Until next time, see ya.